Welcome to Interaction Best Tips and Tools. My name is CLAUS LEHMANN, and for the past 15-20 years I've worked with business learning and people development. In this process I've picked up some tools that help me tremendously as a facilitator, and tools that I know that will help you whether you're a manager or a project manager or a meeting manager. Today I'm going to talk about a tool that will help you generate better decisions. It's a tool that we all know, but I've seen it being misused and I've seen people not getting the best output possible. So today I'm going to share with you some of my learnings and my best tips and tools. Today we're going to talk about brainstorming. See, brainstorming is an important part of making decisions together with a team. It's our chance to generate ideas. Brainstorming, we want to create a storm in the heads of our participants, get all the good or the bad ideas out. And in this process, I see many mistakes. Today, I'm going to talk about, first of all, the pitfalls of traditional or classical brainstorming processes, but also give you some tools that will help you facilitate this process even better. Let's look at the pitfalls first. If you are anything like me, you have participated in several brainstorming sessions. Normally, somebody throws up a question, and then people start talking about, giving their contributions, their ideas, and then we might even put them on the post-it notes and put them up on a chart. But if you're anything like me, when I sit in a group and I start hearing all these ideas from these people that have quick ideas and that talk out fast and loud, I start listening to the ideas, and instead of generating my own ideas, I start taking in the other people's ideas. I start evaluating what I think about them, or usually I say, oh, that's a good idea, oh, and that's a good idea. In this process, I stop generating ideas myself. So it's counterproductive to what we really want to achieve. So there are a few tips I want to share with you. First of all, before you start the brainstorming process, make sure you frame the session really well. And when I say frame the session really well, I mean make sure you establish clear boundaries for what you want to actually talk about, what maybe define it as one question, and the more narrow the question is, the better. So that's tip number one. Make sure you frame the session really well. The second tip I have for you today is really what this session is about today. It's what I call the 3-step brainstorming process. It's a tool that we have developed, and we have used it very successful training project managers, meeting managers, and managers over the last many years. Let's have a look at the 3-step brainstorming process. As you have probably imagined or already figured out, it is a 3-step brainstorming process consists of 3 steps. Step number 1 is what we call the individual brainstorming. Step number 2 is what we call team brainstorming, and step number 3 is what we call secondary brainstorming. As I said before, when we have a brainstorming process without these 3 steps, some people, introverts, reflective people, will have a hard time actually concentrating while the other people in the group are throwing up ideas left and right. So my tip to you as a facilitator is to give the reflective people a chance to think in peace and quiet. You can make it part of the preparation and define the question that you want to brainstorm on, and have people prepare their ideas. The reflective people might do it. The quick thinkers, the loudmouths, they will probably not even prepare anyway. But this way you give them a chance. But also during the session, allow people a couple of minutes to write down their answers, their ideas, their suggestions to whatever topic you're brainstorming on. This will raise the quality of and the amount, not only the quality, but the quantity of the ideas that you will be generating in your team. Now that everybody have made a list of their ideas, we go into the second step. This is called the team brainstorming. This is where we are now going to collect the ideas from the entire group. And the method I like to use is, instead of having everybody write it down on post-it notes and have everybody put everything up on the board, that we do it in a systematic way. This way we avoid doublets, we avoid hearing the same ideas several times, and it makes everything a lot easier for you as a facilitator. So let me describe the process in step number 2, the team brainstorm. The first person will say what is his first idea, his first suggestion, and he will talk, he will share it with the group, and he will write a post-it notes describing in one word or one sentence what his idea is about. If anyone else in the team has the same idea, they will now cross it out, because we do not want doublets. We do not want to hear the same idea more than once. This will save you time, and it will make it a lot easier for you to group the ideas afterwards. Now the second person goes, he will share his idea, the third person goes, and only the person sharing his idea is writing a post-it notes. By the end of the session, when everybody has emptied all the ideas onto post-it notes, now we start putting the post-it notes up on the board. So we have, and here's where I suggest, get everybody involved, get them out of their chairs, get them standing up, go to the flip chart, and have them all put all the ideas up on the board. If there are any questions regarding an idea, this is the perfect time for one person to elaborate on his idea before you continue. And this is a critical point. Everybody must have an idea what all these post-it notes are about. And that's important before you go into the third step. The third step, the secondary brainstorm, is also a critical step, because this is where you will actually increase both quality and quantity of your ideas and suggestions. So have the team stand up, put all the post-it notes up here, and now, based on the ideas that the team have already generated, you will now start thinking about other ideas. So you'll actually add on top of the ideas that you have already generated. So for instance, I look at someone else's idea and say, oh, that reminds me, or that makes me think of, or maybe we could also do this. And then I write my new idea and add that to the list of ideas. What you will find is that the ideas are now becoming better and better and better, and the quantity will become increase as well. So those are the 3 steps, and it's a method that will make sure that you involve even the reflective and the introvert people in your team. It will increase your quality, and it will also increase the quantity of your ideas. This is what I call the 3-step brainstorm. However, if we think of brainstorming in general, are all our ideas equally relevant? Are all the suggestions that we have on the chart now equally good? Of course not. So we need to find a way to put this into, to actually select the best ideas. Because if we look at the process from brainstorming to decision making, brainstorming is only the first part. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here is a drawing that will show a little bit what I'm talking about. Brainstorming is where we go from a few ideas and generate a lot of ideas. I put it in here as the green area, the idea phase, the brainstorming process. But as I said, not all ideas are equally good. So now we want to start cutting down on the ideas, narrowing down, prioritize, and then finally end up with ideas that we can actually put into use and maybe even create decisions based on these ideas. To do this, there are many ways. I'm going to share one tool that I have found very useful, and we use it in many different scenarios, whether you're a manager, facilitator, project manager. And the model I'm going to show you is called the benefit ease model. There are many variations of this model. You can Google it and you'll see many variations. But what it is basically is it's common sense structured. Let's have a look at the benefit ease model. And just to remind you, we are now in the red phase. We are now prioritizing, eliminating some ideas and selecting the best ones. The benefit ease model is an easy one. 2 axes. We have an x-axis with the word benefit, and the higher we go on the axis, the more benefit or the more value this idea will have. On the y-axis, we have ease. So the model is called benefit ease. So the higher we go, and this is where it comes a little complicated, the more difficult it is. So it's easy here, difficult here. And I think the word benefit ease has been chosen because the benefit difficulty model would be not very easy on the tongue. So benefit ease, and let me add, so benefit or value, out here the benefit is high, down here it's low. Over here, if we look down here, it's very easy. And on the top, it's not easy. Based on this, we will now have four areas. We'll make 4 quadrants, and the model will look something like this. Now, as a team, you ask the team now to put the ideas into this graph, into this tool, one by one. So, for instance, this suggestion right here, is it something that is high or low value, high or low benefit? If you say it's high and you say it's very easy to implement, then you put it here. And you do this with all the ideas that you have generated. So here is an idea that has high value, but also that is not easy to implement. And so you will put in all the ideas. A few tips as a facilitator. This is something that can take a little time, but it's also a very important process. So allow for discussions. Allow for the team to discuss why they place it where they place it. And if you are really short on time and you want to speed up the process a little bit, ask the team to do it without talking together. So they just allow them to move the post-its. So if someone put this here, you allow that someone else will actually move it to a different area. And let me elaborate a little bit on the 4 areas that you will come up with. First of all, and it's probably one of the most important areas, so we want to focus on things that actually have high benefit, high value. So if we focus out here, things that have a high value or a great benefit and that is very easy to implement, this is something that we usually consider low-hanging fruits, something that we can go, we will do it, so why don't we? These ideas are ready to implement with low effort. The ideas that we find up here, those are the ideas, they are still valuable, but they are not easy to implement. So the difficulty level is high, the effort is high to implement things that we find up here. So we have low-hanging fruits. Up here, we have what we consider diamonds, something that's very valuable, but it's expensive. Expensive in the sense that it takes time to develop or implement these ideas. So you have to mine the ideas to get the diamonds. So here we have to consider, if this is a diamond that we really want, now we have to consider, does the value justify the effort we have to put in to mine for this diamond? On the other side, we have things that have little value, little benefit, little impact. You could consider if it's easy. Okay, it doesn't add that much value, but it's really easy. If you have the time, you might say, well, let's go with it. However, the things that are up here that add little value, and that actually takes a lot of effort to implement, those are a waste of time. And this tool will help you as a facilitator, manager, project manager, to have the group actually agree and accept where to focus. And by using this, you're already one step closer to making better decisions. So this was today's tools and tips. And first of all, frame your brainstorming session very clearly. Define clear borders. Define one question. What is it that we want to brainstorm on? Use the 3-step brainstorming process, beginning with the individual brainstorming, the team brainstorming, where you share the ideas, and the third step, which is the secondary brainstorm, where you generate ideas based on the other ideas. This will increase quality and quantity. Finally, not all ideas are equally good, so to narrow down your ideas to something that's useful, something that you can put into action, something that you can implement, you can use the benefit ease model. That is the last tool that I've shown here today. This tool will help you get rid of the noise, get rid of the ideas that are less valuable and that require a lot of effort. Get rid of them, focus on the ideas that generate value, make sure that the team agrees on what is low-hanging fruits and what are diamonds, and make sure that you establish an agreement on, is this diamond worth mining for? Is it worth the effort of implementing it? These are some tools we've been using with great success over the past many years, and I'm so happy to be able to share them with you here on InnoAction Best Tips and Tools. Thanks a lot for listening in. Hope that I'll see you in some of the other videos. Take care.